Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Q&A with Qlik. Today's topic is Qlik Cloud Reporting. I know this is a popular topic amongst many people, so I know this is going to be an engaging Q&A with Qlik. My name is Emmanuel Herndon, and I am the one half of the hosting team here. I am a digital success specialist. I work with customers from trial to renewals and in between, creating content for the help their journey. And I do webinars like this one. I'm not doing it alone. As I said before, Troy Rainey is helping me do this.
Hi, everybody. My name's Troy, and I work largely helping put together webinars and videos like this one. And we've got a star panel today. I'll go ahead and let them introduce yourselves. Andrew, you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hello and welcome. Thanks for joining today. My name is Andrew Kruger, and I am the product manager here at Qlik, overseeing our reporting roadmap. And I'm located in Ottawa, Canada, and I look forward to answering your questions today. Johnny.
And Johnny, yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Johnny Poole. I'm a principal platform architect with Qlik. I've been with Qlik about 12 years. I'm based in Canada.
Great. Well, we've already gotten a few questions coming in, so we'll start off with the first one. Is the subscription option going to allow sending Excel files?
So we've had some customer feedback and interest around that. I would say it's sort of on the radar for a future roadmap, but it's not. It doesn't have necessarily a firm place at this time just yet. So I think there's definitely an interest, but we will continue to evaluate that need over time.
The next question, I think, goes a little deeper into what was being asked previously. It says, will there be a PowerPoint or Word add-in like the planned Excel add-in? Follow-up is it possible to use HTML for email reports to visualize the emails? And also they ask, is on-demand reporting generation already possible? Excuse me.
So this question's sort of covering the gamut, almost the entire gamut of Qlik and printing. So let's cover off for those that aren't aware of the context of this question and haven't seen any of the previous webinars or weren't at Qlik World. From a roadmap perspective, we are looking at and working on right now a tabular reporting capability for Qlik Cloud. That will involve an Excel add-in that will sort of address that authoring experience that would parallel what you have in Qlik and printing from a tabular reporting report authoring capability. So when the person asks about will there be a PowerPoint and Word add-in, that's the context for those that are not familiar with the roadmap awareness. From a PowerPoint capability on Qlik Cloud today, you can use the sheet-based capability, sheet-based report distribution, and select a PowerPoint output, acknowledging that that's sort of what you see is what you get from a sheet-based experience there. PowerPoint add-in in the future, it's something that would be considered as futures roadmap. I would not say that it's on the roadmap necessarily. Definitely looking for more customer feedback around that. Word add-in, definitely TBD, just a broader statement. We're not reproducing Qlik and printing in Qlik Cloud. So we are evaluating each use case, and certainly, the strength and the signals from customers are very strong around tabular reporting capability. PowerPoint and Pixel Perfect are definitely the other areas that both Johnny and I get a lot of feedback around. But certainly Word sort of is not necessarily as primary to the feedback area. The other use case that is of interest is HTML and email reports that we will also evaluate as futures roadmap as well. So that needs some more customer feedback, and also in a cloud ecosystem, we need to look at how we would consider that type of option if we were going to provide it as well. So all these things, all these capabilities, use cases are definitely on the radar, if you will, and we continue to talk with customers and explore, what the problem in the cloud is to solve. And the final comment would be on-demand, was around on-demand report generation. Is it possible today? It is not really. You can sort of work it a little bit in the sheet-based authoring, but you got to be super careful. I wouldn't say it's actually available per se. You can sort of work around one use case, but But as a whole, it's something that we know we have customers that have an interest in. And from a tabular reporting capability, it's definitely an area where we want to ensure that as customers bring their tabular reporting use cases from Qlik and Printing to Qlik Cloud, that there will be an on-demand use case in the future that supports that as well. So definitely know that there's a strong interest around that, and certainly watch the roadmap for more updates on that.
Great, thanks. Yeah, next question, similarly, is PowerPoint reporting on the table?
PowerPoint reporting still on the table. So you can do PowerPoint reporting from Qlik Cloud today. So in your sheet-based subscriptions, you can select the PowerPoint format output. And if you were using automations to do a more advanced composition, you can select a PowerPoint format output as well. So do check out the help documents there. And there would also be some other videos online in the community around how to support that type of PowerPoint output. You should be aware that it is a sheet-based composition, so you're getting what you see from the sheet dropped into a PowerPoint template. You can use a background image to help tailor that a little bit. Each of your visualizations will come out as an individual object. So if you needed to, say, discard some or add in your own annotations on top of it, you can do so. But you're leveraging the sheet, the QlikSense client, as your composition point for the output to that PowerPoint format.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Is there a way how I can learn to find problems in my dashboard? I have a dashboard which often didn't show any diagrams, but sometimes it shows it. I have no idea where to look. Any ideas on that?
Sounds very specific to their app.
Yeah, I don't think I can provide any commentary, unfortunately, on that one. I think you'd probably want to work with a Qlik developer in your organization to have a deeper look at what your experiences are.
And there's always, in the Qlik community, you can post a question on a forum with maybe a screen grab of what you're experiencing. I'm sure a lot of Qlik users out there might be able to lend a hand. That sounds very, very app specific. All right, we'll move along to the next question. When will the Excel add-in be available?
So we are targeting 2024 end of 2023, I should say. That's the target at the moment. That's a roadmap statement. It's not a commitment by any means. And certainly that's not a statement that you can hold us to per se, but I can tell you we've got an early access program that's well in flight. We've just dropped the third experience for pages and levels. So we do have that. And we are working on the distribution list capability. And it's a fully integrated experience as well. So it is well in flight. We are targeting to get that to market end of year, but again, that's not a commitment. That's the target.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Has Qlik considered adding the ability to reporting for approve and send? I've had questions around this a number of times since people want to know the report has the expected data and at least the subsets prior to sending. This is mainly a concern I have had from clients in the past with PHI, PII, or financial data in their report that goes to their client. Any ideas?
I have an idea. So we could use Qlik App Automation it's not necessarily a featureized solution, but Qlik App Automation does have the flexibility to, for example, produce a report, send it to an approver, and the email could have a link in it. You click the link, and that could trigger another automation that actually sends the document out. So it's something that needs to be put together, but it could be done, for example, with Qlik App Automation. And then you would have two different automations, one to do the report and save it to, say, a web storage location like SharePoint or S3, and then another one that is only run once the approver has kickstarted it.
That's great. Next question is a follow-up to a previous question. I meant PowerPoint reporting like NPrinting. As of now, we need to create a sheet specifically for reporting, and it needs to be visible to all subscribers. Moreover, you can't customize reports with PowerPoint options. You can only edit the Qlik page. Do you want to talk a little bit more about setting that up for PowerPoint?
Yeah, sorry, I got to go back to the previous question. So best to answer that. What you're asking for is essentially future roadmap is what that is. So, the sheet-based capability that we've delivered to Qlik Cloud today was born from a lot of customer interaction and feedback, where we saw basically, in essence, reproduction of a Qlik Sense sheet or set of sheets in a report. So the ability to move a sheet, what you see on the sheet, to a PDF or PowerPoint format directly that's sort of the capability that you see in Qlik Cloud, drive that efficiency to use the natural effort that goes into building a sheet, be able to move those into a report format. Absolutely, if you need more advanced composition use cases around PowerPoint, that is something that, like I said, we will be evaluating from a roadmap perspective in the future. So I think that best answers the question. So there is a capability to support PowerPoint format output today, but if you're looking for the sort of NPrinting like use case, the more advanced capability, that is something that we will consider in the future. Again, based on customer feedback as well, right? We've got a lot of positive feedback from the existing PowerPoint format uses as well. So.
I could add just a little bit to that as well.
Please do, Johnny.
So yeah, you're correct. So in this case, when we use Qlik App Automations to produce reports, we are creating a dependency between the app that's source. Essentially, the app becomes a reporting app containing the sheets necessary to produce these reports. Also, with a paradigm, the user who owns the Qlik App Automation, which lives in a personal space, so it's a personal user's execution. They're the ones, it's their identity that connects to the Qlik Sense app and mines the sheets to produce slides. So in that situation, the user who owns the automation needs to have rights to the sheet. And if you were going to do this for multiple people to create automations, for example, you can enable everyone to create automations, then each one of those people would need access to the sheet. So that's correct. So the less this is centralized, the more the sheet needs to be shared amongst all the users, and the more the app becomes basically a general reporting app for a group of report writers. If there's any specifics around the flexibility of the Qlik Sense sheet user interface that's not allowing you to create the same PowerPoint formats you're used to with NPrinting, it would be good to hear that more granular feedback as well. And so feel free to write that in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both. Next question. Will the full reporting service with Excel add-in be included with the cloud analytics subscription or be additionally purchased or added on to the subscription? Do we need to, as they say, fork up more money?
So the tabular reporting capability that customers are expecting is that more enterprise reporting distribution type use case. So the report output from that will fall in line with the Qlik reporting service value add service on the platform. So that is a metered experience in the same concept of the sheet-based capability that's there today when you're outputting from using automations where you're getting into those advanced compositions, right? So one report out falls as a count of one against whatever tier you're in from a Qlik reporting service as the value add service. So do anticipate that it will fall in line with the value add service that's there, and of course work with your account team. The other thing I think is worth highlighting, maybe John, did you want to quickly touch on the ability to work with Qlik around the readiness evaluation or the NPrinting readiness app?
Yeah, sure. So it's not a public app, but we've extended to all our Qlik staff and Qlik partners. There is an assessment tool called the NPrinting SaaS Readiness app. It is a Qlik Sense app, and it will load the data that's being collected in your NPrinting environment into a Qlik Sense app and tell you an estimate for sizing. So the sizing will take into account the number of automation runs you do, as well as the number of reports you create. Excel reports won't need automations. You'll just need to look at the number of reports metric. So that would be available. Contact either the partner, the Qlik partner that you work with, or your Qlik sales rep to do a sizing estimate for Qlik Cloud based on your NPrinting environment.
Thanks, guys. Next question. How much flexibility do you have with designing reports? And more specifically, can you put a theme on them?
Do you want to roll that one, Johnny?
Yeah, the answer is yes, you can. Themes will be picked up by the reporting service. So if you assemble a report using a Qlik app automation, it will respect the theme that's been applied. A good way to test that is if you sort of bring up the Qlik Sense app and right-click on the sheet and just do a download to an image format. That's essentially also using the reporting service. It will give you a 95% answer on how it's going to look when you do it into PowerPoint or PDF.
Yeah, and the other thing I think we'd want to add there is with Johnny's help, we worked on a theme that we published to the community that sort of cleans up a straight table view. So if you look on the community under the reporting service forum, you should see pinned at the top, there's a theme that's there that you can grab and start to reuse if you're using apps specifically for reporting output, which is a common practice amongst Qlik customers, and where you sort of want to tailor an app for that point. There you go. Yeah, improving table point presentation. There you go, on screen. So you can grab this theme and you can start to tailor it a little bit, and it does a nice job of cleaning up the straight table to remove some of the interactive objects. So yeah, good question.
All right, thank you. Next question. Is it now or will it be possible through automation to export via Excel into a non-tabular format such as pivot tables? Any idea?
I think that's best answered through the lens of our upcoming offering. So Andrew, do you want to speak to any roadmap, if any, regarding using automation to do Excel or for Excel in general?
Yeah, so the tabular reporting capability will be a fully integrated experience. So there's at the moment, there's no planned automation output from that. Non-tabular formats, pivot tables. I'm just trying to place the output function from an automation perspective, what the goal of that use case is. Maybe, I don't know, Johnny, if you have a different read on it. I'm just trying to place the
well, yeah, no, I think the main message is that you won't need to run an automation to produce an Excel format, and that it will support all of the objects that are in Qlik Sense, pie charts, tables, pivot tables. They'll all be supported in the Excel format. So,
yeah.
I mean, and as of today, there are sort of techniques and workarounds to get a spreadsheet through an automation. I don't think pivot tables will work that well for those solutions. So I would push you towards the Excel offering that's coming, and which will not require the use of automations.
Yeah, that was great. So there's obviously a lot of questions around the upcoming capability of tabular reporting. I posted a link in the chat where Andrew talks a lot about that and even shows it off after going through all the lengthy legal disclaimers. So if you want to take a look at that video, he actually demonstrates how that works in our latest Techspert talk. But following up, just want to make sure we address all the questions. The next question is, so will the Excel add-in be a part of app automation or as an endpoint in automation workflow? Just some more questions about that. But
yeah, so no. So just some context here. It will be an integrated report task control experience that's actually going to be within the app when the tabular reporting capability is released. So you're not using Qlik application automation to drive your tabular reporting report use case.
Yeah,
and yeah, do check out that video. That would be a good video to check out. Sorry, Johnny, you were going to say that.
I was going to say that's worth highlighting because I think many of our audience expect that when Excel comes out, it will be an Excel plugin. But the offering is is more than that. It will support brand new native report tasks in Qlik Cloud. Therefore, you won't actually need to use automations to do the reports the same way you use to produce PDFs and PowerPoints today with Qlik App Automation. It will be an independent task distribution and destination facility that will send out these Excel authored reports.
Okay, thank you both for that. Next question. How easy or automatic can the migration of NPrinting report to Qlik Cloud Reporting service be?
So Johnny and I had like a 45-minute presentation at Qlik World around this topic. Really, when you're moving from Qlik NPrinting to Qlik Cloud, you want to look at the use cases you're supporting in Qlik NPrinting first, because there are a number of use cases and capabilities that NPrinting was used for that have actually been made available to the business user at their own control, right? So you want to first look at your use cases. Can your users adopt capabilities as simple as a monitor chart, right? Something that they can create a self-curated view of monitor charts that sits on their Cloud Hub homepage and is available in their mobile app, so that they really can just quickly scan the chart that they need rather than look in their inbox for an email or PDF of the chart. Can they look at the most accurate view of that chart and take action if they need to? Data alerts is very common for NPrinting to use conditional evaluation and distribution. Data alerts is available to business users from within an app. They can, go to a visualization, set up conditions, be notified when those conditions are met, and provided a link back into the point of analysis in the app. Subscriptions, business users can go and create their own subscriptions if they need a simple multi-page PDF of a set of sheets with a set of selections. They can set that up, or a PowerPoint. Many customers spoke to us about that embedded sheet in a story that was actually really about a report, not so much about the story, right? And with that, you can subscribe to a set of sheets and create your PowerPoint output. And of course, it's worth highlighting that in data alerts and subscriptions, when it's in that end user or business user consumption mode, when those tasks execute, if your app is running section access, if there's a share on that data alert or that subscription, that is actually a burst use case, because the recipient will only receive the data that they have access to. So I sort of summarize that because a lot of NPrinting use cases actually were centralized functions of those. So now the business user can address those themselves, and you can leave yourself to do more advanced report contribution composition at the centralized mode. And that's where you get into the sheet-based authoring through app automation. Again, you want to look at where your NPrinting reports were replicas of your QlikSense app. So that would be an option. And then when you get to the tabular reporting use case, that is roadmap and capability that we're talking about here, and you'll see in the video that Troy shared, that capability is coming to market. When you see that, it's very similar to the Qlik NPrinting tabular reporting experience. And it's worth noting that we will release a version of NPrinting that will allow you to export compatible report templates and the Excel report templates themselves. So the authored Excel report template that contains the schema for your report. You'll be able to go through a process in NPrinting of exporting, setting, defining the new app ID that sits in Qlik Cloud, so that when that report comes out, it's got a connection to the new app ID, and then you'll be able to use those in your task definitions on Qlik Cloud. So you'll be able to reuse your report templates as you make that motion to Qlik Cloud. You will have to create new report tasks within the integrated experience on Qlik Cloud. So there will be some ability to migrate those templates that you have there today. So that's sort of really a nutshell of the session we gave at Qlik World. But again, I encourage you to look at your use cases first, understand how Qlik Cloud can support them, and then start to plan how you best make that move.
Great, appreciate that. Next question, and you can take this how you want. When will Qlik Cloud Reporting be released?
But Qlik Cloud Reporting. So there's a number of distribution use cases that are already available in Qlik Cloud. Again, I just rolled through a bunch that are available to the business user. The sheet-based capability is there today for if you want to use automations to your advanced compositions. Tabular reporting is coming, again, a roadmap targeting the end of the year. So that's the best I can spin that question into an answer there. So actually, let me just, there is no explicit Qlik Cloud reporting per se. Like there's no one capability. You're looking at a number of distribution use cases, and then some of them are available to business users. Some of them fall under the Qlik reporting service value add offering that is enabled through what will be the sheet-based capability with automations, and or in the future tabular reporting and any other additional authoring capabilities that the roadmap may produce. I think I'm done there.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Is it planned that the formatting of the tables can also be exported to Excel?
So I would say watch for, this gets into interactive mode, I believe, in downloading your tables that are available in your QlikSense app. Do watch for updated objects that come in the Qlik Cloud domain. There is a new straight table that you would be familiar with in the, some of you may be familiar with, it's in the Vizlip bundle at the moment. We are evaluating a PDF output, a multi-page PDF output of that should support more formatting options that I think a number of customers have been interested in. Your manual download to Excel does support more formatting, does support the bulk of the formatting that you're doing in your QlikSense table as well. So in Qlik Cloud, you definitely want to take a look, because if you're using the text and the background definitions within the object, the Excel will support the majority of those. There are some more advanced use cases that it won't necessarily pick up, but the majority of them it will. So do check out, go in and experiment a little bit in Qlik Cloud with your Excel exports.
Great. Next question. I think they were looking for some tips about looping through filtered reports, but I'll read it. I currently work with a client that is surpassing 100 generate report blocks on a single looped automation. Are there any tips or tricks that reduce the generate report blocks, but still allow for uniquely filtered reports?
Maybe is the answer. If it's 100 uniquely produced reports, so, I wanted to produce a filtered report for 100 different names, then no. The report service has to be called with a reporting block to generate the report, each with a unique filter. The maybe aspect is that, let's say you were trying to send this to 100 different people, but actually some of the filters are shared between the users. What you could do in the automation is do a count distinct and group the number of loops by the distinct count of filters, and then have a sub loop that sends it to multiple email addresses within the larger loop. So in that case, it might be possible to get lower than 100 if you in fact only need to do, say 70 or 60 unique filters, even though it's 100 different email recipients. That's the condition I can see where you can get lower potentially.
That's a great tip.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Are there any plans on combining cloud reporting with the design possibilities in storytelling? Could storytelling become a way to create more fine-tuned reports?
Correct. Yes, that would be no. I don't see that at the moment, and it's not something I'm hearing from customers. What you do see in Qlik Cloud is the fact that many customers are using storytelling as a reporting function, and we're essentially embedding sheets and manually downloading the set of sheets and then distributing those. That in Qlik Cloud you see the subscription use case that's there, with the option for PDF and PowerPoint. Beyond that, I'd be looking at strong customer feedback as to what the use case is around this interest. So do use the ideation. Ideation is a source for us in terms of understanding the types of use cases the customers want to solve. But at the moment, that would be my most direct answer, if you will.
That's great. Yeah, we're getting a lot of roadmap questions, but I guess that was a little bit expected. I'll read this.
Another one.
Yeah. Currently, there are Qlik automation connections for Microsoft products having the capability to connect to Office 365, commercial, and government community cloud. Is there an expected timeline of when support for these connectors will be available for a GCC high environment?
that would not be for this session.
That's definitely off topic, but yeah. Want to point out if you have any comments or suggestions, I definitely recommend you check out the ideation page on Qlik Community. This is a great area to post suggestions and kind of reach out to product management, and you can see what other suggestions on products people have suggested, and take a look at that and post your ideas there, please.
Yeah. So, and on that one, just being open, we don't have the people on the call to answer that question, right? So I'm familiar with that question, but I would definitely not be the right person to answer that question. So I'd encourage you, as Troy said, use the ideation community. Do also search, because I believe there has been some communication around the community around our QCG offering. And then, of course, if that doesn't work, then check in with your account rep and see if you can get a question answered that way too. So.
Great. I'll just jump to the next one.
Yep.
Will tabular reporting be able to be designed using Google Sheets for clients that bought into the Google ecosystem instead of Microsoft?
Yeah, so I would say that's on, I hear that question very sporadically. I'm definitely aware that some customers have started adopting the Google ecosystem. What will be interesting, and I'll need a lot more signals on, and I encourage you to use the ideation community for that, is I'll be interested to know how many in the Google ecosystem are also looking for that tabular reporting type function as well. So I would say TBD. I need to hear much more customer feedback on customers as they move into the cloud ecosystem as a whole, as they adopt Qlik Cloud, they look at those supporting systems. How do they need to support those use cases? So I would welcome more feedback on that.
Next question. Yes, I was asking about where we can find the recording. The recording of this session and all the links that we're sharing will be available on Qlik Community. You can also find it on the Qlik Support YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, this is the Qlik Support YouTube channel. And that'll be available as soon as we can get it out there, but probably looking for it next week.
Okay. I think next question is, are the Vizlip extension objects compatible with Qlik Cloud?
So I'll answer this from a reporting capability. The third-party extensions at this point in time are not part of the output of reporting distribution use cases. So certainly at the moment, you'd need to be using the native Qlik visualizations for your subscriptions and your sheet-based output. It is something that we have on the radar, and it's sort of a broader level topic that we know some customers have a motivation around. So we are evaluating it. I can't offer a tiny sort of timeline at the moment on that.
I think one got snuck into the chat. Okay, it says, hi, can Qlik reporting service can be used to send visualizations from different apps within a stream?
That is crossing over client managed concept and cloud concept. Correct, Johnny?
Yeah, streams pertain to QlikSense client managed. But if we could get a clarification on whether you mean spaces in Qlik Cloud, then we can answer that. I mean, for NPrinting, you could do it. You can have a multi-app report, but for Qlik Cloud, I guess the question is, do we support multiple apps to assemble a report using Qlik App Automation today?
Andrew, what was that feature that you demonstrated at the beginning of our Techspert talk? It was about posting charts directly in the hub. That sounds like it might be a solution to this.
In Qlik Cloud, you can go into an app and you can right-click on a visualization and you can monitor that chart in your own hub. And each time the app reloads, you would have the most recent version of that chart visible in your Qlik Cloud hub, or if you put it in your mobile collection, it would be on your mobile app as well. So that would be an alternative to a PDF distribution, if you will. So do check out the monitor charts capability in Qlik Cloud. Outside of that, if I was to try and imagine that source of that question, if you think about the subscription within an app on Qlik Cloud, so a business user can go in and subscribe to a set of sheets, they can share that with other users, but those users do have access to an app, do have to have access to the app. Again, section access would be applied if it was shared under that construct. If you went to the advanced report distribution capability in Qlik Application Automation, you could run your own distribution list. That is essentially gives you flexibility to distribute to whoever you like. Section access doesn't necessarily get applied in that use case, but you could also bring in your own report filters as part of your distribution list. And do check in Qlik Application Automation. When you create a new automation, there are templates there. And under the reporting space, you can there's a template for referencing a distribution list that's sitting in a table and or also one that's sitting in an Excel file as well. So there are some flexible options to distribute charts, if you will, or sheets to different audiences within Qlik Cloud. I don't know if we've covered the question. I think we tried to sort of throw a blanket around the areas of consideration there.
I do want to point you to the survey that Troy is showing on the screen and has also put in the webinar chat. You scan, it's a QR code, scan it with your phone, and let us know how we did. We do appreciate that feedback because we will want to make the Q&A clicks better for you all. Also, I would say you can check out other webinars that have happened in community. You can go to community there, and there will be past webinars as well as you can register for upcoming webinars. We have many, of course. We have the one with Troy, which is our Testford Talks, and then we also have the Q&A with Qlik. A new one that is added that you can register for is the Qlik Technical Workshops, which I host, and with Umberto. That's a 101. But since there isn't any more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap this up and say thank you to Jonathan, and thank you to Andrew for taking out the time to be with us here today. And from Troy and myself and all of Qlik, thank you and have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.